Maddie, and today I'm on the lookout for some very special insects. They have big wings, are often very pretty. Can you guess what I'm looking for? There's one. Did you guess? Yes, it's a butterfly. Aren't their wings beautiful? To find out about butterflies, I've come to a butterfly sanctuary. Can you hear that sound? It's a waterfall. The water from the pool helps to keep the air moist and steamy, which is just how the butterflies like it. These have red and yellow stripes. Hello. Look at this one. It's called the giant owl butterfly, and I think it might be my favourite. Can you see that the pattern on its wing looks like a huge eye? I love butterflies because they have interesting life cycles. Do you know what the life cycle of a butterfly is? How does it work? Let's find out. How does it work?
Butterfly.
When butterflies begin their lives, they can't fly, and that's because they don't have wings. They start their life as an egg. And these are butterfly eggs. Look how tiny they are. But so we can see them properly, I'm going to use one of my special cameras. This is my microscope camera, and it lets me see things that are really, really small, much bigger. So let's take a look at these eggs. Whoa! Look at that! Each of those little dots is an egg laid by a butterfly. Can you see the ones that are wiggling around? Well, that's because they're about to hatch. But what do you think's inside it? Is it a butterfly? No, it's a caterpillar. That's because the butterfly starts its life as a caterpillar. The caterpillar is crawling out of the egg. But the caterpillar needs something to eat so it can grow and turn into a butterfly. So first, it eats the egg. Look at its furry head chomping away. It's the same size as a pinhead. Whoa. For the caterpillars to grow bigger, they need to eat a lot more, and their favourite food is green leaves. This one's having a good munch on the green leaf, isn't it? Actually, you can see there are nibble marks all over the leaves here, and that's because caterpillars eat a lot. In fact, some caterpillars eat as much as 27,000 times their body weight. That's like you eating over 5 bathtubs of spaghetti in one day. But why do they eat so much? They need the energy to turn from a caterpillar into a butterfly. And this is called metamorphosis. But to find out more, I think we should take a closer look. Caterpillars get ready for metamorphosis by eating and eating and growing bigger and bigger. They grow so quickly that they become too big for their skins, so they squeeze out of their old skin. Underneath is a new skin, bigger and stretchier than the last one. This is called molting. The caterpillar eats more and more and grows bigger and bigger, molting 5 times. When the caterpillar molts for the final time, the new skin underneath is hard, like a shell. Now the caterpillar is called a pupa. For about 30 days, the pupa hangs very still, but inside, big changes are happening. The body of the caterpillar is changing into a butterfly. A head and body, 6 legs and 4 wings. And when the metamorphosis is done, the butterfly comes out. At first, its wings are crinkly and wet, so it gets water from the pupa's shell to make it strong and get bigger. After a few hours, the butterfly is ready to fly off and lay more eggs, so the whole life cycle can start again. Wasn't that amazing? And here is a caterpillar that's shedding its skin for the final time. It's pupating. But I know somewhere where we can see pupas where the butterflies are about to come out. There are 3 pupa on this branch that are almost ready to open, and we know that because the outsides of them are already a darkish brown. We don't know exactly when the butterflies will come out of the pupa, so we're going to leave the camera recording. Now it's a waiting game. Who knows when they're going to open? After a few hours, it started to happen. Can you see the middle one wriggling around? And here it comes. Look, it's an owl butterfly. Now the one on the right is popping out its head. And here's the 3rd pupa opening. Wow, that was incredible. Aren't they beautiful? The butterflies will live for a few weeks and they'll fly around and they'll suck up the juice from all of this fruit that's left out for them. And then they'll lay their eggs on a leaf and the whole life cycle will start again. I loved finding out about the life cycle of butterflies. What was your favourite part? Do you remember what it's called when the caterpillar changes into a butterfly? That's right, it's metamorphosis. Did you hear the sound of the waterfall that helped to make the sanctuary just like the butterfly's tropical home? And did you see the tiny butterfly eggs and the caterpillars wriggling inside them? I loved seeing all the butterflies and their bright, colourful patterns. We see patterns everywhere, don't we? Like my stripy t-shirt, or my pencil case, and even this wallpaper. Have you ever noticed that the patterns on wallpaper repeat themselves again and again? Where does it start and where does it end? Do you know how wallpaper's made? Let's find out. How is it made?
Wallpaper.
To find out how wallpaper's made, I've come to a wallpaper factory. Here they make miles and miles of wallpaper every single day. In fact, they make enough to wrap around the moon 4 times every year. First, we need a wallpaper design, and that happens here in the studio. Hannah is a designer and she's painting a new wallpaper pattern. After she's finished her hand-painted design, she scans it into a computer and copies them lots and lots of times. This is called a repeat unit. Can you see where Hannah's design is repeated again and again? The top and bottom of the design join onto each other, so it repeats all the way down the wallpaper. But there's a problem. The printing machine can only print one colour at a time. So Hannah uses the computer to separate out the picture into different layers, one layer for each colour. Look, can you see the layers building up? But how do they get printed onto the wallpaper? Once a wallpaper has been designed, the pattern is cut into a steel cylinder. This is called engraving, and all of these are engraved steel cylinders. And look, Hannah's design has been printed onto these cylinders, one for each colour. But look, the design has been engraved all the way round the cylinder. This is the repeat unit. The engraving is made up of tiny dots which collect the ink to print onto the paper. But they're so small I can barely see them. So I'm going to use one of my special cameras. This is a microscope camera and it lets me see really small things much bigger. So here we go, let's take a look at this hairstyle. Wow, look at all of the little dots. That's incredible. But look, they're different sizes. This means when they're filled with ink, they will make a slightly different mark. But for these cylinders to print anything at all, we're going to need some ink. This is Emily, and she's going to use a mixer to make exactly the right orange ink we need for one of our hairstyles. Do you know what colours we need to make orange? That's right, it's red and yellow. Emily then mixes them together with a noisy blender to make orange. And look at that, a perfect match. So we've got the design, we've got the cylinder, and we've got the ink. What else do we need? A great big printing machine. Inside the machine, the paper is pulled tight through these rollers, so it's nice and flat to print on. Can you see the paint in the bucket? It gets sucked up the pipe into a bath called a trough, ready to be printed onto the wallpaper. This is incredible! The paper passes through the machine so fast. So I'm going to use one of my special cameras, which lets us see things that happen quickly, much slower. Can you see the cylinder going round? It's rolling into the ink and printing the pattern on the paper. The paper carries on going through the machine, and more layers are printed as it goes over more cylinders. Look, there's the first layer, the brown picture frame. Next is yellow, orange, then black and red. This is the back of the machine where the printed wallpaper is rolled onto another reel before it's taken off to be checked. The big reel of wallpaper is then cut and rolled onto smaller rolls. And here we have a finished roll of printed wallpaper, ready to decorate a house. I loved seeing how wallpaper was made. What was your favourite bit? Do you remember the name of Hannah's design? That's right, it's called a repeating unit. Did you hear the sound of the mixer when Emily made the orange paint? And did you see my special slow motion camera as it helped us see the fast cylinder spinning around? So the next time you see wallpaper, you'll know how the pattern was printed on it. And now you know how the life cycle of a butterfly works and how it transforms from an egg to a caterpillar to a butterfly. Right, I think it's about time I go try to spot some more. There's one. I'll see you next time.
There are lots of things